Hello and welcome to this video on turning an azalea into a bonsai. Azaleas are among the more common species used as bonsai. While by no means as common as figs, junipers or maples, they do have unique features not seen with these species. The most obvious is flowers. While they have strengths, by comparison they also have some notable weaknesses or obscure details that, whilst not a major problem, are certainly noteworthy enough that you need to note them to get the most out of an azalea. Ours are a series of small example specimens. This is fine for a start, but you may wish to find something larger. That's because we're going to be waiting many years for a thick trunk and some other developments. If you can collect them from a garden or a yard, you'll find that they are much more developed. But on the basis of what we have on hand, we're going to be doing a bit of work now, but most of the development will be a very slow process. As with other examples we've shown you recently, we will repot this specimen. It is in a small pot from the nursery, so we can do this much more easily. The presence of a fence paling underneath will force this azalea to grow wide and shallow roots. This will promote nabari development, a particularly useful phenomena at this stage, as we practically have none to speak of. Okay, so far there hasn't been anything that's a major development or a change. What we will rather horrify you with, let's say, is how much we're going to prune this back for now. The typical style cuts are made. Keep a left, right and back branch and repeat this to the top. Anything not needed for that styling purpose is removed. This isn't much given how small the azalea is, but still. Next we reduce the amount of growth on the branches themselves, so we remove any top and bottom growth. Further, any directly opposite branches. So we've actually taken away a lot of what is here, and we've taken it back to a very minimal amount of branch and foliage growth. As azaleas do not, let's say, take to wiring very well, and especially on old growth, we can do a little bit of work now, and that's because we've cut most of the growth that could have been wired. There are a few peripheral branches and elements that could be wired, but honestly, doing so really doesn't serve any purpose. It would be better for us to wait until we have more branch length and then wire it, but even then, it may not be necessary. And this comes down to the next problem. An azalea can easily break with such a brittle structure. Because of this, we're going to wrap some of the parts in raffia. While less likely to break without wiring, it is still a concern. Raffia won't necessarily stop anything from breaking, but it will make it less likely, and that's kind of key here. We're not necessarily going to be able to stop all the damage that could happen, but we can reduce it. There are some branches here as well that we're going to hold on to, but we're going to hold on to them for a simple reason. They will be grown out as a sacrifice branch. This branch down low, we'll need to weigh it down or else it won't do what we need. That is grow out to the side, long and strong, so the trunk thickens. The longer it gets, the more pressure it puts on the trunk, the more likely it is to grow wider. This is of course just the start, but it will be a nice but small and solid example if we can keep it alive. And this is perhaps the biggest challenge for all bonsai, and not just our azalea in this case. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it interesting, consider liking, sharing and subscribing. Please do post any comments, questions or suggestions you have below.